Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bucket List Binge. Um, this one, this one, I think I'm recording. Today's Monday, right? It's Monday, right? Is my calendar gonna? Yeah, it is. So, recording it on the day that I should upload it. I recorded an episode. I actually watched the movie Thursday, and it's been a couple days because I just got busy with a bunch of stuff, and I got hung up with some people and whatever. So I watched the movie. Then afterwards, I did record an episode, but I listened back to it and I absolutely hated it. I mean, that's a problem of mine that I'm gonna keep recording an episode and then not releasing it because I'll go back and listen to it and I just think it's just trash. Really quick before we start, hey Derek, if you're watching, all right, put down the fucking bong, okay, and call your mother, right? She's worried sick, and you sit on your ass all day and just smoke weed, all right? Call her. I don't know anybody named Derek. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that was funny. I was thinking about introing this episode by saying something like that, and maybe if some guy named Derek finds this episode, he's going to be scared shitless. But all right, so I did write down notes, luckily, and I do remember quite a bit from the movie. I mean, I just kind of rambled about the same things in the previous recordings, but let's try to make this one the winner. So overall, fuck, this movie was good. I love The Godfather Part 2. This is another just it hits you really in the feels. I felt sad, like this overwhelming sadness throughout the whole movie. I think it was the parts where it would switch back and forth between the prequel like section and the sequel of the part of the movie, and I just felt so bad because on one side, like in the prequel, you feel kind of, it's like the origin sort of story thing that's going on. I mean, not sort of. It is the origin story. It's the origin of Vito coming over and making a name for himself, growing a family, doing all that kind of stuff. And then it switches back over to how Michael is handling things, and they're going so fucking poorly. And you just watch how he's handling everything. And it's so sad because it's like, I don't know. I think it's like you're watching the buildup of a great crime mafia family, and then you're watching the downfall of it all. You're watching Vito have kids with his wife, and then later on knowing that they're going to be at each other's throats. Already one of them, before this movie, was dead, and then you're seeing one betray the other one, and then you're just seeing one that was so inexperienced and didn't really want anything to do with the whole like family business that he's screwing everything up, who's made into a Don, wasn't really ready for that. But I mean, overall, God, this movie is so good. I loved it. But some of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about, that I did write down on notes. Luckily I wrote down notes, so I'm not just kind of rambling off of just what I remember from 4 days ago. I know I probably should have recorded it right after I watched the movie, or I should have just watched it again. I mean, granted, I did record it, but yeah, those takes were just bad. I think I was either tired, or if you've ever gotten out of a movie theater, like after seeing a movie, no matter if it was good or bad, I seem like I have this problem, but you just want to talk about it, but you're not really fully processing the movie, I guess. I think it's probably better to kind of sit down and like think about what you just saw, because I walked out of, like, let's say a movie, the movie Rise of Skywalker. I walked out of that like really liking it, almost loving it, and really skimming over all of the little things that were wrong with the movie. That, I shouldn't say little things, the major things that were wrong with that movie. But I mean, this one though, I mean, I couldn't really think of anything that was wrong. I mean, I didn't want to just sit here and God, I can't fucking talk. I didn't want to just sit here and sort of like fangirl, or just be like, oh my God, this movie's so good. Oh my God, I loved it. But I mean, really, I can't really find anything negative to say about this movie. I mean, I'm sure somebody will probably message me being like, what about this scene in it that was that, what do we think about that? It's like, I didn't really pick that up because I'm still dumb. Like, I'm not a movie reviewer. Dumb idea to start a movie related podcast and not really be into film that much. But I mean, that's what I'm starting it for. I'm starting to get all the classics out of the off the list. Um, I gotta say, man, whenever I watch these kind of movies, the crime, mafia, mob movies, whatever you want to call them, I always get sort of anxious. Not like my typical anxiety, like, the kind you get before you have a quiz or whatnot. It's like that sort of anxiety that you get when you're so involved with the characters, or you're so interested in them. You care about them. You want to see how they're doing, I guess, or you're very integrated into the story that's going on. Throughout this whole movie, I was getting that, and it peaked really at, I think it was the scene in Cuba, which I had written down, because it was at the part where he's talking to Roth about the deal, or like his Roth's will of what's gonna be cut to who and his associates after he passes, and they're just celebrating like, oh, it's great, to new beginnings and whatnot, and then he like pulls Michael off to the side and says that the $2 million that he was wanting didn't arrive and stuff like that, and I was like, oh jeez. And like I think that it was, I can't describe why I felt so anxious during that part. I think it was that you're still uneasy about who tried to assassinate Michael in the beginning of the movie. You think that it's Roth, or maybe Frank did do it, or like, it could be a double cross from Frank. I don't know, but then you eventually begin to learn that it was Roth. And then as you think that, oh, it's Roth, he's going to just put a hit out on him, right? It's going to be fine or whatever. Those go bad. I think that was another point where I was just like, I think it was right after the scene where Roth has the assassination attempt on him, like when he's trying to smother him. It cuts to another flashback of Dawn, and I'm sitting there like, all right, this is the best time for this, because I need a break. Like I need to go back to feeling happy and seeing how Vito is doing, and how he's what's the word I'm trying to look for? How he's navigating through New York as an Italian immigrant trying to survive the Don Fanucci or whatever. But yeah, that part there where first he kills the bodyguard. I think it was like Johnny. I think that was Johnny who he killed, Johnny Ola. He gets him, and then the worst time for the Cuban military to walk in is when he's trying to smother Roth. And then at that point too, you also know that there was a failed assassination attempt on Frankie. I think I'll call him Five Angels. How the hell is he? Frankie Pentagelli. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that right. I think that was how it was pronounced, but I'm just gonna say Frankie Five Angels because I think that's what Tommy had called him. So Frankie, yeah, he had that assassination attempt where like the cop came in, they got busted, and they said that it was from Michael, which it wasn't. I think they were trying to set him up. So you know that he was still out there surviving, and then I was wondering if maybe Frankie was going to do something harsh. I guess in the end, he was just going to testify against Michael on the Senate committee thing that they had there. But and then you think there, it's like, oh, he is fucked. Once again, you get so worried. It's like he's fucked there because he read that the letter to the Senate committee. Sorry, kind of calling their bluff. Like he's like, this is bullshit. You guys accuse me of being in a crime family. It's stupid. Bring me a witness that will actually testify against me. And the Senate committee is like, I bet. And then they find out that it's gonna be fucking Frank, and it's like, oh no. I thought that was so funny. And then he plays up the dumb guy card when he sees his brother next to Michael being like, I didn't say that. I didn't say I was going to testify against Michael. I wasn't a Corleone capo. How you say? What am I, stupid? Capo shortened to, or captain. Oh, so it is capo because it's supposed to be referred to as captain. All right, I'm sorry, I'm dumb. I have the wiki here too to also help me kind of freshen up on what I remember. Man, I love Robert De Niro. I loved him I loved him in this. I say loved him as if he's gone. Fuck. Once again, I can't talk. I love him in almost anything. I gotta rewatch Irishman too because I really liked him in that. But that's besides the point. Plays a fantastic young Vito in this, and something I also wanted to talk about was the sequel prequel thing that they did in this. I think more movies should do that with sequels, especially long sequels or just long movies in general that have long sequels. Because I mean, I like seeing a sequel, a continuation of a story. But like if in the first movie you introduce all these characters, like when you introduce a character like Don Vito, and you know that he's a established Don to a criminal empire, you kind of like to see how he got to that point. You know, it would be something like I want to make a kind of a. Oh, I forgot to turn off my AC. Oh shit. God, that's. I'm sorry for the first 11 minutes of this that you can just hear that in the background. Yeah, I wanted to make connections to the Book of Boba Fett really quick because it would be something if they just did a story of Boba Fett and didn't explain how he got out of the Sarlacc pit or how he survived being on Tatooine, like how he got to the point where we saw him in season 2 of Mandalorian. You know, it'd be something. I feel kind of gypped. You know what I mean? And I like that at the beginning of the show they were like, all right, here's the story that's going on in the present day. What's going on, whatever, his troubles trying to maintain leadership on Tatooine. And then we're going to do flashbacks of what he remembers when he was living on the sands of Tatooine trying to, you know, survive, and how he gained the respect of the Tusken people, what had happened to the Tusken people, how he just basically got in like the black robes and learned how to fight with one of those stick things. I don't... What the hell is it called? Let me look it up. Tusken stick. I'll just look up Tusken stick. Gadder. What the fuck? How the hell do you pronounce that? Gadurfi? What the hell is that? Okay, I'll take any Italian name from any mob movie and try to pronounce that over this. Or gaffy stick. Just call it a gaffy stick. There's another word for it. Gaderffi. Sorry, I was looking. Are there 2 eyes? Looks like there's 2 eyes in it. Gaffy stick. Gaffy stick. I'll just call it a gaffy stick. It's this funny little stick thing that he got. But yeah, no, like I was saying, you know, I liked the whole prequel sequel thing, and I liked that it was sprinkled in. It wasn't just like one big, like half the movie is a prequel and then the other half is supposed to be the sequel. I like how it's mixed here and there. It's not even like hard cuts either, which I also really liked. It wasn't like just suddenly you're thrown into a prequel part of the movie and you don't know what's going on. They kind of did that. I think they did that sort of thing that they do in Breaking Bad to signal that they're in New Mexico, where everything is yellow. Every time it went to like 19 whatever, hold on, what's Vito Corleone in 1917 having settled in New York, he marries and has a son. So it was around 1917. You could tell it's 1917 New York just by how brown everything is and how, like, I want to say bleak, beige. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. They put that like sepia, however you pronounce it, that filter on everything where you're like, all right, this isn't current day. This is old ass New York. It just looks like old fucking New York. And you can tell also by the way that people dress that it was 1917 New York. But yeah, I never felt confused at any point in this movie when I was watching something from prequel to sequel. And like I said, it wasn't like just like a hard cut. I think most of it was like gradual fades into it. And even near the end of the movie where they show like another prequel clip, it was them all sitting at the dinner table on Vito's birthday, I think it was. Before, I think it was it was whenever Pearl Harbor happened. I feel dumb that I don't know when the exact year, I should say. The exact year that it happened, but it was right after that happened and Michael signs up for the army. That segues into something else that I want to talk about, which is just how Michael is handling everything as the Don to this. I sort of blame him and I sort of don't blame him. I feel like he made choices that weren't really smart, I guess I should say. Or he just he seemed like he leads as a Don sort of with pride rather than strategically like his father did. In Don's reign, in Vito's reign, he was very smart with everything. Even after Sonny was killed, he didn't think immediately, I got to get revenge. He was like, no, I'm going to settle everything with the families because it's just going to keep going on, which I think was a smart move. But after Michael has the one assassination attempt on him and finding out that his brother betrayed him. I mean, I understand that he was hurt by it, but I don't know. I felt like he just shouldn't have killed him in the end. I saw him on that boat scene. Of course, his son was there, and it's like, oh, maybe he won't get hit. But then the second that Connie comes out and is asking for his son to come in, and it's just going to be Fredo and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's the other hitman for Michael. I'm like, no, he's dead. It's going to be that classic scene of one guy fishing and the other guy pulls out a gun and just pops him in the back of the head. I was like, oh, but still, I was like, don't kill Fredo. He's just dumb. He's just this sort of quiet, spineless in a sense, just moronic guy. He's really best fit to just running the hotels and casinos. I think that was what his job was supposed to be. Roth, fuck him. Should have gotten shot. I don't care if he was dying. All right. I don't care if they were like, who's going to be dead in a couple months. No, just shoot him. Fuck him. And then poor Frank, being a disgraced capo, commits suicide. I mean, I think it was perfect. The way that Tom talks to him about the whole Roman Empire thing and reminds him that the plotters against the Roman Empire had committed suicide. And then subtly telling him that his family was going to be taken care of, cared for after his death. I mean, but something that I also want to mention, because I was saying how Michael wasn't handling power very well. I don't think I mentioned it already. See, this is why I keep restarting recordings, because I always forget 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago what I just said, because I'm fucking dumb. I mean, I was talking about the way that Michael was handling everything, but it's just, I know I sort of brushed it. How he didn't really want to become a member of his family's business, I should say, or his dad's organization. How he, in the beginning, didn't want to take part in all. He wanted to do his own thing. He felt like joining the army was a step in the direction where he can do his own thing. He wasn't going to be tied down to whatever Vito wanted or any of his siblings. Of course, his siblings were pissed off at that idea because Vito was setting him up to become a member of it. I can't remember what they said that he was supposed to be. So I think it was a D. I think it was a deformant. I can't remember, but I think that was a good scene to put there because it shows you that he wanted to take his own path, and unfortunately, in the events of the first movie, he was sort of it was just like a snowball effect. He was snowballed into this whole thing, and then eventually becoming the Don of it all, accepting that position, and handling everything pretty poorly. Like I said, some decisions he made were his fault. I think some other things were just out of his control as well. But something. He differs very much from his father because something that it showed in the prequel section of the movie is just how smart and calculated Vito was. I think the whole scene where he's planning on killing that Don Fanucci, the friggin' guy with the funny looking teeth, I think he had a slit throat mark right across his neck. The fat cat. I like to call him the fat cat. I think that whole scene there where he's following his movements on the rooftops, he unscrews the light bulb so that it gives him kind of a buffer time So when the guy gets up there, like he can time the gunshots with the fireworks going off. Um, what else? Oh, the way he disposes of the gun too. Like he just rips it apart, throws it down several chimneys across like the roof and stuff like that. He's just very smart, and I think that was setting up his character very well. Because he was a very smart, calculated um, Don. I was trying to think of another word. Sorry. In the first Godfather. Jesus, I go back sometimes and I re-listen to small segments here and there. Like I get like a chunk in, and I'm noticing how many times I just smack my lips. That is disgusting. I sound like an old man. Like, like when he hasn't had anything to drink, he's just like. Should I start an ASMR channel? That'd be a good idea. Are you fucking kidding me? Really? Hold on. Sorry, I had to pause it again. I took a drink out of my water because my lips are dry and old man smacking, and I just everything on my desk just fell off. You know, it's the way that I'm set up. I just did it again. I'm so sorry. I did the lip smack. It's just the way that everything's set up on my desk. It's so bad. I just have like, what is it, six or 7 bottles of water that are half drunk. I don't know. Just sitting around. This is why I haven't streamed in a while. I have my gun on here. I should probably put this in its case. I have it out because I just went to the range the other day. That's why I was busy the past couple of days, and I know I'm getting sidetracked from the movie. Went to the range for the first time. That was fun. God, I want to shoot some of the guns that they have in this movie, though. My friend had a revolver, and he let me try it out. And the first thing I thought was, "Oh my God, it's just like all those funny little revolvers and guns that they have from all old mob movies." I think he said his was a standard issue for cops back in, like, I don't know, whenever they had friggin' revolvers instead of Glocks. Oh Jesus! What other things can I talk about here? Just reading through the summary of the plot summary on Wikipedia here. Man, at the beginning of the movie, I knew I was in for something where it gives a little bit of exposition on Vito, or on his father, I should say, and then it jumps right into his brother being killed after trying to seek revenge, his mother going to the Don Cicero, I think that was it, going to him and begging for forgiveness to not like kill Vito, but he's like, nah, I'm still gonna do it, fuck you. And then her getting absolutely blasted. I think she must have been on like a wire rig or something. I don't know. She flew so far back that I audibly laughed out loud when I saw that. And then poor little Vito's got to go to Ellis Island all by himself. And then he has his name given, Vito Corleone. What was it originally? Andolini. I think that's how you pronounce it. Vito Corleone. It's like that scene in the Han Solo movie where he can't give the guy his last name because he doesn't have one. So he's like, "Oh, you're by yourself? Oh, your name's Han Solo now." The registry guy there just gives him the name Vito. "Oh, you're from Corleone? Yeah, your name's Vito Corleone. All right, cool." Thought that was a nifty little thing they did there. See, let me read off a couple of notes that I have here. Well, at least some of the last ones. I got everything. Oh, solid gold telephone. Holy shit. Did you see that? Of course you saw it. I say, did you see that, as if I have a buddy in my room. It's like, did you see the gold telephone? I mean, you know, I'm hoping that anybody who's watched this remembers that. Yeah, the gold telephone that's handed around like show and tell in 5th grade or something like that. He just has everybody pass it around, a weighted old-fashioned style, like this. I don't know what the hell it's called. I'm a fucking 23-year-old. I don't know what the hell those phones are called. The ones that you spin the thing around. I wonder if it was functional though. How awesome would that be? Oh man. Oh, and one last thing that I had written down on my notes here that I wanted to talk about, which is, I think, something important to talk about, is the effect of, I guess, this kind of criminal organization stuff on people's families, which I've seen in different mob movies. The first one that I'll talk about is Goodfellas, where, I mean, he can't really hold down like a stable relationship with his wife because she's always thinking that he's cheating. Granted, he is, because he's cheating on her with the 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 hot goth looking chick who's like cutting the cocaine for him. And then eventually, like, she's manic from everything that's been going on. I mean, she even has once again, uh, yeah, Robert De Niro, whoever he played, I can't remember his character's name, but nearly assassinates her by a scene that I absolutely love of him, like telling her, like, yeah, just go around the corner. I got some new coats for you. Just right around the corner. Yep, keep on going. Right around the corner. Oh, you see those hitmen? Forget about those. Those are guys who are going to show you where the code is when they wrap it around your head and fucking bash your head up against a wall or something. I don't know. And then the next movie I can think about, which also has Robert De Niro in it, is Irishman. Once again, I can't remember his name in that one, but it affects his relationship with, I think it was his daughter. Or I know it was his daughter, but I can't remember if it was also his wife. But his daughter absolutely hates him by the end of the movie. Like, she starts to kind of learn that he's a criminal, he's part of organized crime, and I think by the end of it, when all of his friends are dead and he's like the only one left, that he she doesn't want anything to do with him anymore. It's at that point in the movie too where I think the cops come up to him and they ask him, like, hey, just reveal the locations of oh fuck, what was his name? It was an actual famous, like, mystery. I'll look up the Irishman. He was Al Pacino's character in that one. Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah, they're like, just reveal Jimmy Hoffa's location. Come on. Like, just so that his family knows what had happened to him, where the body's buried. And he's like, no, I don't think I will. Man, these guys are just some of the best actors for these movies. Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino. I want more. Oh, Peggy Shear. Oh my God, she is something. And where have I seen her from? Anna Paquin, Canadian New Zealand actress. Where the hell? Yeah, she was in Irishman. She was the daughter. She kind of looks like the woman from CSI, like the original run where they were in Las Vegas. And I think she's in the friggin' reboot. Is that her mom? Mary Paquin? No? No. She just got the same teeth. Whenever I saw her in that movie, I was like, God, she could be totally related. They got the same, like, gum, like, structure and teeth. Just the way that they smile, where it's all like top teeth. What else was? Now I'm looking up actors to The Irishman. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Let me look up Godfather. Find some other dumb shit to talk about here while I stretch for time. I want to at least make it to 30 minutes. The cast credits. It credits Marlon Brando, but I don't think he was in this. There was that scene where they go and wish him a happy birthday, but I don't think he showed up. I was waiting for him to kind of pop in and be like, oh, the shit, there he is. They did up Marlon Brando again with all the makeup from the first movie, But yeah, no, he was not. I don't believe he showed up. Granted, yeah, Vito was in this movie, but it was played by Robert De Niro, but Marlon Brando wasn't. Where's the full cast? Can I not get a full cast here? Guess not. Oh, there we go. Let me go to IMDb. I gotta look up more Robert Duvall movies, and I gotta finish watching Apocalypse Now. I really like that movie. That'll be one I'll talk about, since it's still the first time I watched and I haven't seen how it ends. So maybe that one will be coming up soon. There wasn't a sequel, right? I don't think so. But yeah, that was a good movie. I like that one. I gotta do movies that aren't in any trilogies or anything like that, because when I watch one movie in a trilogy, I'm gonna have to watch them all, just so there's some continuity in between these episodes. Oh man. And once I finish this one, like I said, since I gotta do a trilogy or any sort of film series, I gotta do number 3 now, Godfather Part 3. Every single time I've heard people talk about it, they're like, oh, good luck. Like, thanks. When does this one take place? I don't know. I know it was made in 1990. I don't know. If I don't like it, which I heard everybody say that. I probably won't since it's so bad. I want to consider it not canon. I feel like this one, Godfather Part 2, ends perfectly. I think that it sort of leaves you up or leaves you wondering what kind of will happen next, but I think at the same time it just sort of wraps everything up like kind of neatly. Like Michael is sad and alone. Most of his family is split up. I mean, his mom is now gone. Fredo is gone. Sonny is gone. I don't know how Tom's going to take everything. I think he's going to be pretty pissed off that he had his brother killed. His dad is obviously gone. His wife is gone too. Like, it's really sad. And I think that's just how he should live now. Is just a sad, lonely Don. So yeah, I don't want it to tarnish the first two movies. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, if it just feels like I'm being spit in the face, like it's a real Rise of Skywalker sort of film, I'm just going to be like, yeah, it's not canon. I don't care if you say it is. I consider Godfather 1 and 2 to be the only Godfather movies, and then Godfather Part 3 is like a fever dream. Oh man. All right. I think that will do it because we are at 31 minutes. I wish there's probably some other things I could talk about. Maybe I'll squeeze those into Godfather Part 3 so it isn't just another 30-minute episode. Or no, not another, but I should say a 30-minute episode of just me rambling about how much I fucking hated this movie and not really having any good things to talk about it, because I like talking about the good parts of a movie. So yeah. If you want to check me out on Twitch, I'm at Twitch most of the time. I haven't streamed in a little while, but you can check me out at Untoten Slayer. That's UNTOTEN Slayer, SLAYER, at twitch.tv. And if you also want to check out my friend's podcast, Genre Rama, they're on Twitch and they're also on Spotify. Hoping that this podcast will also be on Spotify at some point. Now, it will down the line, so it's a little bit easier to listen to. But yeah, that'll take that. Fuck, I can't talk. That will be it for this episode. Really messing up the outro. I'll get better, I promise. That'll be it for this episode. On to part 3. Okay.